Good evening. This meeting will now come to order. Welcome to the April 23rd, 2026 meeting of the City of Greenville Board of Adjustment. Madam Clerk, can I please have a roll call?
Brian Hurdle,
Here.
Kara Bass, Jermaine McNair,
Present.
Sterling Ruffin,
Present.
Nicholas White, Jeremy Jordan, Clayton Self, John Southworth,
Here.
David Newman,
Here.
Sebastian Presley, William McCurry.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. We have two items of business on the agenda with some minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Wonderful. Thank you. And hopefully everybody has had a chance to review the minutes from my March 26th meeting, 2026. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 26th, 2026?
Motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. At this time, Mr. Attorney, can you give us your statement and then tell us who our voting members are to this evening?
Certainly. Good evening, Chairman Purtle, members of the board. Tonight's voting members will be Chairman Purtle, Mr. McNair, Mr. Ruffin, Mr. Southworth, Mr. Newman, Mr. Arcuri. This hearing is an evidentiary hearing. That means it is like a court hearing. State law sets specific procedures and rules concerning how this board must make its decision. These rules are different from other types of land use decisions like rezoning cases. The Board of Adjustment is a quasi-judicial body that makes a decision concerning an application, petition, or appeal based on the evidence presented by those in favor as well as those in opposition. The members of the Board of Adjustment are laypersons, and as such, the rules of evidence that are followed in court are relaxed for cases heard before this body. Though the rules of evidence are relaxed, it does not mean that they are ignored. The board's discretion is limited. The board must base its decision upon competent material and substantial evidence in the record. A quasi-judicial decision is not a popularity contest. It is a decision constrained by the standards in the development regulation and based on the facts presented. If you will be speaking as a witness tonight, please focus on the facts and standards, not personal preference or opinion. Participation is limited. This meeting is open to the public. Everyone is welcome to watch. Parties with standing have rights to participate fully. Parties may present evidence, call witnesses, and make legal arguments. Parties are limited to the applicant, the local government, and individuals who can show they will suffer special damages. Other individuals may serve as witnesses when called by the board. General witness testimony is limited to facts, not opinions. For certain topics, the board needs to hear opinion testimony from expert witnesses. These topics include projections about impacts on property value and projections about impacts of increased traffic. Individuals providing expert opinion must be qualified as experts and provide the factual basis or factual evidence upon which they base their expert opinion. Pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 160D 109, 160D 406, and Section 4 of the Board of Adjustment's Rules of Procedure, no board member shall participate in the discussion or vote on any special use permit, variance, or appeal from an administrative officer's decision that would violate the affected person's constitutional right to a fair and impartial decision maker. Pursuant to Rule 4.4 of the Rules of Procedure for this body, no board member shall take part in the hearing, consideration, or determination of any matter in which that board member has a financial or personal interest. Pursuant to Rule 4.6 of the Rules of Procedure for this body, no member shall discuss any case with any parties in interest prior to the public hearing on that case. At this time, I call upon board members to disclose any ex parte communications, conflicts of interest, or bias that would violate the right to a fair and impartial decision maker.
I wanted to mention I work for Greenville Toyota, which is owned by the Goezes, the first item.
Is there anything about that relationship that would prevent you from being fair and impartial this evening?
No.
Chairman Pirtle and members of the board, that concludes this opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. All right, on to new business. Public hearing on a request for a special use permit by Goaz Holdings LLC. The applicant, Goaz Holdings LLC, desires a special use permit to operate a major repair facility pursuant to Section 9-4-313, Table of Uses, Commercial Use 29 of the Greenville Unified Development Ordinance. Proposed use is located at 3830 South Memorial Drive. This property is further identified as being tax parcel 23767. Let me read that correctly. At this time, will all members of this case speaking for or against please come forward to be signed in or sworn in? I cannot speak today. At this time, we will have staff's preliminary report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good to see everybody tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. As previously stated, you do have a special use permit application for a major repair facility. So you can see there on the screen, the locations denoted with the red stars in the southwestern quadrant of the city. See a close-up there, it's highlighted in red and outlined in black there. So this property is at 3830 South Memorial Drive. It is parcel number 23767. So the property is about an acre and a half. It's got about 185 feet of frontage along Memorial Drive. And as stated, the applicant wishes to operate a collision repair and auto painting business, which in our ordinance would be considered a major repair facility. So the zoning of the property, it is heavy commercial. So you can see there to the north, likewise zoning, that property is vacant. It's a heavy commercial. To the south, that's the Country Inn Suites Hotel. That's also going to be heavy commercial. To the east, across Memorial, is going to be a auto dealership, Capital Subaru of Greenville. That's also heavy commercial. And to the west, that's going to be also vacant. The same tract kind of loops around it, and it's also heavy commercial. So the future land use and character map shows this as a commercial character type. So this use would be in compliance with the future land use plan. So here's a photo of the property. You can see there a notice was posted. That notice was posted out on April 8th. So notice was also mailed to the adjoining property owners as well as the petitioner on the same date, April 8th. Notice of the public hearing was also published in the Daily Reflector on April 11th as well as April 18th. So in your packet, you got a staff report that shows the definition of what a major repair facility is. So major repair facilities include engine overhaul, dismantling of subparts, body or frame repair, windshield or glass replacement, transmission, starter, alternator, or other subpart rework service, welding or metal cutting, and any other repair that would include minor repairs. So by nature of their business, it is considered a major repair facility. Also in your packet, it shows the specific criteria for it, mainly talking about the storage of any tires and any storage of wrecked vehicles. Staff recommendations. So they will need a site plan, stormwater management plan, and erosion control plan approval. That'll be required before building permit application and approval. Vehicles on this premise for repair shall be screened so as not to be visible from adjoining property lines or the street right of way. The property shall not evolve into a junkyard, automobile graveyard, or materials reclamation facility. So also, this proposed project must meet all state of North Carolina building and fire codes prior to occupancy. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have of me.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Any questions for staff? All right, seeing none. At this time, we'll ask the applicant to come forward. Please sign in, and when ready, tell us your name and title and a little bit about your project.
Unfortunately, I can only do one thing at a time, so I'm sorry. My name is Michael Overton. I'm with the Overton Group here in Greenville. Also, I'm the property manager, project manager for this project for Mr. Goaz Holdings. We are requesting approval to a special use permit, do a body repair shop at this location. Looking to do a Toyota branded body repair shop. Got one in Newbern as well. It's done very well, high quality building and environment, and feel it'll be good for the area. I'm just here to answer any questions if you have any.
Awesome. Any questions by the board for the applicant? All right, hearing none. Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll ask anybody speaking against this case to please step forward. Seeing none, we will have Mr. Jones and staff recommendations.
So planning staff is in the opinion that the request can meet all the development standards required for issuance of the special use permit upon proper findings by the board.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jones. At this time, we will close the public hearing and open for board discussion. Is there any board discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will read the criteria. For expediency, criteria will be read by reference. You may call for a vote on any criteria as read. Your silence on each criteria is recognized as a vote in favor of the application. Conditions and specifications, comprehensive plan, health and safety, detriment to public welfare, existing use detrimental, injury to properties or improvements, nuisance or hazard. At this time, I will call for a motion for approval of the finding of facts.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, the finding of fact has been approved. And at this time, we will call for a motion to approve the petition with staff's recommended conditions. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. McNair. Do I have a second? A second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the motion carries, and the petition has been approved. As soon as it is signed, you may proceed. Thank you for your time this evening. We will move on to our next case. Get my papers in order. A public hearing on a request for a special use permit by RenBev Incorporated, DBA Uptown Brewing Company. The applicant, RenBev Incorporated, DBA Uptown Brewing Company, desires a special use permit to operate a microbrewery mixed beverage permit pursuant to section 9-4-313, table of uses, commercial use 31 of the Greenville Unified Development Ordinance. The proposed use is located at 418 Evans Street. This property is further identified as being tax parcel number 23584. At this time, please, all members speaking for or against this case come forward to be sworn in. All right. Mr. Jones, staff's preliminary report, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So this special use permit application is for an existing microbrewery. So it is RenBev, commonly known as Uptown Brewing Company. So this is exactly like Pitt Street Brewing did in January. So if you guys will remember, City Council did a text amendment to allow microbreweries to actually serve mixed beverages as opposed to just malt beverage previously. So with that text amendment, if the existing microbreweries or any other microbrewery wanted to serve that, they'd have to go before you guys, get the special use permit. So that's what Uptown is doing right now, updating their special use permit to allow for mixed beverage permits. So just thought I'd give a little bit of background before we got into the meat. You can see there on the screen, the red star denotes the location in the downtown district of the city. So there's the, you can kind of see it on the screen there, but it's highlighted in red. So this property is located on Evans Street, so it's 418 Evans Street. It's got about 30 to 50 feet along Evans Street. This is directly across from the Hilton Garden Hotel. So all the property down there is downtown commercial zoning district. So you got right next to it is D Stop Shop, then across the street's Hilton Garden, and then behind it is the State Theater. So the future land use character map shows this as the uptown core, and being an existing use, it is in compliance with the future land use plan. So you can see there on the screen, the notice was posted on the site. That was done on April 8th. Same date, we mailed out adjoining property owner notifications as well as the petitioner, and notice of this public hearing was also published in the Daily Reflector. So some of the things to note for what in your staff report, you saw the definition of a microbrewery. The text amendment did two things. It upped the square footage from 5,000 to 8,000 square foot. Being this is existing, that doesn't matter for them. They still count. And then the other one that actually matters is they may have mixed beverages permits from ABC for on-premise consumption. So that's exactly what the reason behind the application is for. Also, in your staff report, you'll see all the criteria that comes with the special use permit approval. So they'll be a part of, as usual, the annual review of alcohol establishments. So they'll be under this board's purview for any bad behavior. So that at the beginning of each year, we'll bring that before the board. Anything noteworthy, you guys will make a decision on whether or not to recall them before the board for any revocation possibilities or anything like that. So with that, I'll answer any questions you guys have of me.
Any questions for staff? Thank you, Mr. Jones. At this time, we'll ask the applicant to come forward. Please sign in, and then when you are ready, state your name and title and tell us about your project.
Hey guys, I'm Drew Chester. I'm the general manager for Renbev. We have Uptown Brewing Company. In November, we purchased Local Oak Brewing out in Winterville. We're working on Yard Dog Brewing in Farmville and a tap room in Siler City, where our ownership's based out of. And basically, we just want to add liquor to the menu. Our core is still going to be the craft beer that we make, but in addition to wine and cider and THC seltzer that we already have. Just as the industry changes, the rest of the states do, and the rest of the country, more and more breweries are adding liquor to it. Like I said, the emphasis is still going to be on craft beer, not trying to do crazy shots, not trying to, see how much anybody can drink. We just want to be able to have maybe 4 or 5 just kind of house cocktails to have in addition as well for people who aren't big fans of beer. That's pretty much it. Any questions I can answer for y'all?
Any questions for the applicant? All right. Thank you, sir. You may take a seat. Are there any speakers, any additional speakers for or against? Please step forward. Seeing none, we will get staff's recommendation.
So staff is in the opinion that this request can meet all the development standards required for issuance of a special use permit upon proper findings by the board.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jones. At this time, we will close the public hearing and open for any board discussion. Is there any board discussion at this time? Hearing none, we will move forward and read the criteria. For expediency, criteria will be read by reference. You may call for a vote on any criteria as read. Your silence on each criteria is recognized as a vote in favor of the application. Conditions and specifications, comprehensive plan, health and safety, detriment to public welfare, existing use detrimental, injury to properties or improvements, nuisance or hazard. At this time, I will call for a motion for the finding of facts. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries for the approval of finding of facts. At this time, do I have a motion for approval of the petition with staff's recommended conditions?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none. The petition has been approved, and as soon as you get the signed piece of paper, you should be squared away, sir. Thank you for your time this evening. All right. City staff, any announcements? No announcements. I will call for a motion for adjournment. All right.
Second.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you and have a good evening.